ladies and gentlemen, the energy has been so weird this week. But weather is back on the scene, and I am back on the scene, and volcanoes are back on the scene. This is Mount Etna doing its thing. Stock markets be dropping is back on the scene as the S&P has dropped 3.7% in 2 days, the most since October 2020. As we approach the Pluto birthday of America on February 22nd, 2022. So things are probably going to be weird. I know that you guys have been incredibly awesome to me, but yet still here in February, the middle of dark winter 2022, I've still been getting hit by seasonal affective disorder. And the heat is on the West Coast. We're talking about, are you beginning to sound like a broken record? Me? Sure, I guess, maybe. Things are crazy. 3 daily high temperatures were broken or tied today. Camarillo tied a 98-year-old record with a high of 84. Talking about California, which is metaphorically on fire. Man, are you ready for the hottest Super Bowl ever? I know it sounds like an ad, but it's more of a weather statement. Ian Bremmer, who usually covers like World War III and shit, is now like, oh my God, check this out. And it is super dry in this area. And I don't know how to say, like, a lot of the signs are pointing towards possible California volcano activity this year. I know I've been saying that like a broken record because I've been saying it for the last year or two that there's a chance we could see a volcano eruption on the west coast of the United States of America. Because A, there's a giant volcano chain that runs up it there. And B, you got all the gas giants on the same side. And C, it just kind of feels like that. I texted one of my best friends today, earlier, and I was like, man, I'm losing my mind because outside of Asteroid Fight Club, feels like 95% of everyone is very negative all the time. And to deal with the world that we're in, they're always complaining and whining and gossiping, and it's driving me nuts. He was like, you know what's driving me nuts? Inflation. Chipotle, 26% profit increase, raising prices. Starbucks, 31% profit increase, raising prices. McDonald's, 59% profit increase, raising prices. Shell Mobile BP, 60% profit increase, raising prices. And then you had the United States of America government today say, we think Russia could invade Ukraine during the Olympics. And then there's this weird feeling that maybe they could do it during the Super Bowl. And then on top of that, because some people are like, America's just fear-mongering, which may or may not be true, but Israel pulled everybody out of Ukraine. Though I don't know how many Israelis were in Ukraine, but it's just, once again, that pressure zone seems to ratchet up. And with the winter fighting the new heat spring, the period of time that we've been talking about after the slowdown in weather would start to really pick up again. And so we're looking at 2 very severe weather days, kind of very spring days, February 18th, like the Wednesday and Thursday, or possibly Friday of next week. Big weather days. So remember, warning, please evacuate the island if you hear 8 short blasts. But if you only hear 7 blasts, it means everything's fine and no reason to panic. Yeah, like 30% in Texas. Wednesday is going to be in a giant, we could be getting nasty severe weather. And then Arkansas and Little Rock and Oklahoma. And then the day after that, Thursday, it switches. And this area will be totally under the gun. And if you get a warning like 6 days in advance, 7 days in advance, like, oh my God, we could get tornadoes that day, it usually means that it's going to be pretty serious today. And the new GFS has bumped up the cape values. I never really understood why any superhero would wear a cape. It seems like that would only get in the way of fighting. But then a lot of times, comic book superheroes are all fantasy. All right. But so, yeah, we got sufficient for strong updrafts. So we are looking at, we got a week to prepare. But it looks like we got severe weather coming back with a vengeance. The sun has definitely been waking up and hitting us in the face with solar storms. Had some pretty amazing aurora borealis over the last few days. So that's cool. You've got the entire Part of the Ottawa border shut down with the trucker convoy, where 90% of them have been vaccinated and the 10% are protesting. They're protesting mandates, and everybody's just, the whole situation put everybody in edge for 2 years. So everybody's on their very last nerve about everything, everywhere, it would seem. So it's like everybody's having an emotional solar storm at all times. We had the third Pluto and Mercury conjunction in like 3 months today, which is part of the weird energy. Venus and Mars are about to do their lovers dance on the 13th, I believe. That'll be interesting. Things are strange, and it seems like things are going to continue to get stranger. The stalwart Honda is the latest to do production cutbacks because of the protests in Canada. Yeah, with everybody talking about this storm, and the data on it is looking pretty bad for coming up, Anyway, rumor has it, it's always a great day when you get to ride with deleted emails. So we are in the future, and the future is definitely absolutely weird. Mount Etna puts on a spectacular display during an overnight eruption. Remember, the Tonga volcano eruption wasn't even a month ago. It was on the 15th of January. It's only the 11th now. U.S. Storm Watch, a huge area of California, has experienced a dry start to the new year in at least 4 decades. So you got some heat records being broken. It is super dry there. And we are watching out because with all the gas giants on the same side, we're going to have increased volcano and earthquake activity. That is my guess. And then you throw in increased solar storms and surprise, interplanetary shockwaves. This was not in the forecast. An unexpected interplanetary shockwave hit Earth's magnetic field today. That might be partially why I'm I don't know. Feels like I've had an aneurysm. I've had a hard time trying to figure out how to think and talk. A coronal mass ejection hit Earth's magnetic field on February 9th. The geomagnetic storm erupted 24 hours later. Auroras burst into life over the coast of Scotland. And so, yeah, buckle up. I mean, I'm hanging in there. I hope you're hanging in there. And like I would say again, thank you, Asteroid Fight Club. You guys have been absolutely incredible to me. Super duper greatly appreciate you. Close asteroids keep on whizzing by. Check out the 8th. I've been talking about the 8th. We made it through, but look at all these close asteroids that came by. One as close as 0.7 lunar distances. Check out on the 10th. You had a 0.1 lunar distance asteroid swing by Earth and miss. So there's been a lot of asteroid activity as well. The Queens will be monitored after her son got the sickness. And it's a bad scene for anyone over 65. All the data would suggest, with or without the thingy. We live in crazy times. So I'm definitely going to cowboy up the best I can. Key Strong magnetic movie. This shows the evolution of the sun's magnetic field on the Earth-facing side of the sun, grayscale, and the reconstructed field using the heliophysiology. Golden. Any features that persist in the reconstructed image movie are likely real. What does that even mean, man? Oh, I'm losing my mind with y'all. It must be the interplanetary shockwave hitting me in the soul. God is great. You're pretty awesome, too. And I get bothered when everybody's like, man, we're going to build the big rocket. And I'm like, I'm not impressed. We used to have a space shuttle. Anyway, the Fuego volcano in Guatemala, which is just south of Mexico and America, it is also having a very volcano-y day or week, although it doesn't get a lot of press in this one. Yeah, everybody talking about day 6 or 7, though we've been watching around the 18th for a while. I keep saying hang in there, because hopefully spring will be better, because technically we're still in the middle of winter. And yeah, pandemic winters are really weird. You got severe tropical cyclone Dovey, pictured from near Norfolk Island in the South Pacific, as their typhoon season is really starting to ramp up and is looking to be pretty intense. Hong Kong extends flight bans, including for the U.S., U.K., and India, to March 4th as its big outbreak worsens. Got all American eyes on Inglewood this week, says Zach. Eyes will also be peeled on the thermometer. I've mentioned this again, but I'm saying 19 record highs possible Friday through Sunday through Super Bowl weekend. Do you believe in love? Jim Cantori. Yeah, so this is the storm we'll be watching. And like I said, you'll have the cold fighting the hot down here, and severe weather will ensue. Apparently, there's a big supply chain shortage on acronyms. 94% of all acronyms have already been used up. I guess you can't stack those. Hey, let's watch eroding snowpack, shall we? Ooh, it erodes. This looks like a musical, and I get really frustrated because I don't understand why adults can't get along. I mean, civilization's been around for like 5,000 years. Hey, the Olympics. I made a joke, might be inappropriate. I said, yo, woman, are you a Russian Olympic athlete? Because your ass is dope. Hey, look, the volcano behind the house. And remember, Dutch was talking about the magma is rising below Oregon's volcanic region, which would line up with my, hey, gas giants on the same side. West Coast USA needs to watch out because I would predict another big volcano eruption somewhere in the world around 3.5 months after January 15th. I'm sure I can do the math on that. We got more sunspots coming. 2 sunspot regions not yet numbered coming, but we've got 4 on the sun right now. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I found a third planet around Proxima Centauri, which is supposedly the closest star to us, or one of them. So that's interesting. We'll have to talk about that more in depth. So yeah, that's kind of been the week. Asteroid 2022, Cool Jams 5. Barely missed this. So I will try to bust out of my funk 100% if I can. What the heck?
This emission that we're seeing is thermal emission.
Damn good. I super duper absolutely appreciate y'all. Y'all are so good to me. So do your best to stay cool and keep hope alive because spring is coming. All right? And because y'all have been so tremendously good to me, I only have $1,077 left to raise for my February monthly THORnews fundraiser. I think you guys know how to contribute. I got a steel mail, PayPal, Venmo, CashApp, Patron. Nothing but love for y'all. Thank you very much to everybody who's contributed, said prayers, or been cool to me. And that includes thank you to Saracen. Thank you to Jesus Loves Gays on Facebook. Thank you to Justin. Thank you to Michelle. Thank you to Arnica. Thank you to Marsh Stars. Thank you to Space River News. Thank you to Greg. Thank you to Pookie. Thank you to Andrea. Thank you to Megan. Thank you to Wizard of Oz. Thank you to Texas Angel. Thank you to Bruce. Thank you to Patricia. Thank you to Max. Thank you to KJ. Thank you to Ann. Thank you to Brian. Thank you to Marlita. Thank you to Dan. Thank you to Light Soul. Thank you to Glenda. Thank you to Barbara. Thank you to Richard. Thank you to Lauren. Thank you to Alexis. And thank you to everybody out there who's still hanging in there and keeping a sense of humor because, man, it has been a weird world for far too long. But remember, it's always darkest before the dawn, and this too shall pass. God bless everyone. Stay cool. I'll talk to you in the near future. Have a great weekend if you can.